Good morning and welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I am Debbie G, and it's time for a cup of grata. That's a shot of expression, 2 squirts of reality, and I have a dynamic co-squirt today. I've had her on before. It is Madeline Reese, the Street Angel. Mandy, welcome back.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going good, except there's still a really bad feedback.
Aw,
So I'm kind of concerned about that. Try do me a favor. Let's mute you for a second.
okay. I think you muted yourself.
That's how this is gonna go, right? That's how this looks. Jeez, Jiminy Crickets. Good morning, people who are voting in the Holy shit. All right. I'm going to bring up True Seeker. I don't know. I really don't know where that the feedback's coming from. Now I did. Okay. It's definitely coming from Mandy. What I'm thinking is that you may have to put headphones in. It sounds all echoey and backwashy. Yeah, I know, guys. We're going to try and fix that right now. Good morning. Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. If you didn't hear me, I'm Debbie G. This is Monday. She is the gorgeous Street Angel coming to you live from Texas. As a matter of fact, Jan, she's coming from Texas too. So rock on with that. Let's see if that fixed the problem. Did that fix the problem? Can you hear me, Mandy? I can. Oh, it did fix the problem.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So, without further ado, we're going to play some True Seeker. When we're getting into it, you guys, I want you to type into the chat, who are you grateful for today? It is a cup of grata, and you know how I roll with that. Good morning, Ellie, and good morning, everybody. Woo! Okay. And thank you, Leslie. All right, guys, while we share it out, let's listen to I Am.
I am everything. I am everything. I am everything. I am. I'm in everything. I am everything. I am everything. I am. I am. I'm in everything. I am everything. I'm in everything. I am. I'm in everything. I am everything. I am everything. I am. I'm in everything. I am everything. I'm in everything. I am the healing that comes from God. I am the hero, the villain in all. I am the mind that's left in awe. Devotee of manly hall. I am the pride before the fall. I am the calm before the storm. I am the soul before the form. I am the child with outstretched arms. Can't explain what it seen, what it saw. Battle the junkie that battles withdrawal. I am the promise and I am the call. I am the prayer from under the shawl. I am the eye in the midst of the pyramid. Mind of millennials, rooted by riddling. I am religion that speaks my primitive city. Remembering God as a memory. I am the blind that now can see. I am the slave that's been set free. I've held devils that once held me. I am you and I am me. And now I hold the mystery, the secrecy of frequency. Ascending up on Calvary, that's how I make my alchemy. I'm in everything. I am everything. I am everything. I am. I'm in everything. I am everything. I'm in everything. I am.
of all the men and the resurrection, the desolation and restoration, the purification of defecation, the pure frustration of destinations, the years of patience beyond replacement. Take this however you want to take it. I am the Father and I am the Son. They're both in me. I'm three in one. I'm the end before it begun. I'm the earth, but yet I'm the sun. I am physical and spiritual all at once. I am the bullet and I am the gun. That voice in your head saying let's go to war. On the other hand saying let's give it all to the Lord. That organism leading you to the source, that encore, but need no more words. The architect of the Nazca. I am deep within ayahuasca. I'm the beat within many mantras. I cease to end, I am conscious. I'm the pickaxe of the sky caves. I'm the many acts that got men saved. I'm the many reasons to give thanks. I am the empty seasons that break chains. I am all things to all men. I'm a song sang by the psalmist. I'm the astral plane, I'm all bliss. I am the seventh heaven where all is. I'm the silence when the song is. My story is God's, it's all his. All glory to God, I'm all his. I am nothing without Christ, Christ, Christ.
I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm in everything, I am everything, I'm in everything. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm in everything, I am everything, I am everything,
I am the heart of the human race. I am the frequency that you embrace. I am entirety, I am inside of me. I am inside of you. I am the irony hiding inside of these violet vibrancies. I am the silence inside of collider beams. I am of higher things rooted in love, purpose and healing. Yes, I am the one. I am the all and I will become everything I dream. I shine like the sun. Fire will burn you. I am eternal. If you don't know the Messiah, I urge you seek and you'll find. It's deep in your mind, buried beneath the adhesions and lies. I am the sequence of deeper design, hidden and not meant for people to find. I am a soldier with the Lord's regime, a manifestation of greatness who's absorbed esteem. And I am surrendered to the glory king, the word that was at the beginning of his story. Sing.
I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm in everything, I am everything, I am everything, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm in everything, I am everything, I'm in everything, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm in everything, I am everything, I am everything, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm in everything, I am everything, I am everything, I am.
Woo! That was True Secret. I am. Don't you love him? Seriously?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had him on a couple of times, and he's got some great music. This was a fun compilation that he did where he had everybody send in themselves singing the song, and then he put it all together from people all over the world. So it was way cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Very cool. Speaking of people who do things all over the world and are out there all over the world doing great stuff, that's what you do, Mandy. You are the street angel. And, you know, we've already got a question for you, but before we dive into that question, thank you, Deb. Let's talk about what you do as a street angel, just real quick. What is a street angel?
That's me. I basically throw on these angel wings, and I carry around posters. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there we go. This is my smallest one. It's kind of like easy to run around with and sneak into places, and I have one on my back of my wings as well. There you go.
I love this. Oh my God, it's just the cutest thing.
So it's like front and back, but I don't force it on people. It's just, I'm like a walking human billboard, and I go places just everywhere humans are. My mode of operation is like, where's Waldo? I just wander around in crowds and places that people go. I've been to red carpet events, festivals, the beach, grocery stores, shopping, just wherever, malls. I mean, hotels. go all over the cities and states, and I've even been out of the country a couple times. So
That's actually pretty cool. Did you see a difference between the way that another country would responded to you versus us at all?
no, I've actually, thank goodness, I've not had any problems or issues, and I'm knocking on wood because I've even gone to the airports. I've been doing this for 7.5 years, and I have luckily never had any problems. I've gone all through the airports. I put my wings through security. I walk around with these posters, and because I think it's such a positive message and innocent, I don't get attacked. I had one incident in California where I thought the security guard was going to give me an issue, but I didn't. I think he thought maybe I was panhandling, and I'm like, I don't panhandle. Come on now. I just walk around and promote kindness.
Oh my God. Okay. So that's the cool. So you guys got it. You're walking around, you're promoting kindness, which we know is complete. I was just curious if, because some other places are just more expressive and like, and like, wow, here you are in this foreign country, and she's just you're this cute blonde American with angel wings. I mean, seriously, I can't even imagine what they're thinking. Like, they had to have been hugging you like crazy.
I get really positive response. Like, I went to Cabo, Mexico, or Cabo San Lucas, and that was really positive response from all the workers around the hotel area that I was at. And I see that somebody was asking if I work with the homeless. And yes, I have. I've actually done a lot of different donation drives, and I would collect things and take them down to, especially when I was in Los Angeles, I would collect a bunch of donations. I'd fill my car to the brim, and I would drive them myself down to Skid Row and make sure that they were given out to, whether I was doing it or giving it to another group that would help me distribute. So I've done it several times where we were handing out donations, and it's really sad. Like, especially that area it's the number one bad area for homelessness in the country.
It's gnarly. Okay, I don't know if anybody. Yeah. Okay, I've been down. I actually knew somebody who had an apartment on Skid Row. He'd been in prison most of his life, and it is like a trip to go down there. It's heartbreaking. He told me, I mean, I had to watch out for people because they're literally, a lot of these people are on drugs, so they're on heroin, and like they'll walk out in front of your car. Like, you have to, like he said, you have to be really cautious when you're driving out there late at night or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's even in LA. Like, there's just crazy people that walk right in front of you in the middle of Beverly Hills. It doesn't matter where you are. You could just have crazy people and you don't know if they're on drugs or not. They're just like, oh, right in the they don't care.
Well, no, I totally agree with you. All right, I'm going to agree with you there because I've lived there.
Yeah,
and I totally get that. But but when you're actually in Skid Row at midnight, it's like a definite thing. And he's, because I was dropping him off there, and I'll never forget. He's like, be really cautious. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
and they're in survival mode, and it's sad. That energy is scary and sad.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you got like all kinds of things collected and that you were giving, because they're human and they're just in their trauma. They're in their, I don't like to say that they're in anything else but that they're in their trauma. People that are living or experiencing that depth of hardship and or addiction are usually coming, most of the time, it's safe to consider it's all trauma-based stuff they haven't dealt with.
Right. A lot of childhood abuse or sexual abuse. And, life is just hard in general. Sometimes people try a drug once and they're hooked, and then their life gets down the toilet in a way, and it's really hard to pull yourself out, It's just all about having compassion for people, caring about their plight. And the reason that I would get involved and put my missions and stuff that I did on social media, because the message I would promote was, get involved in your community, help out, just do something, anything that you can do to contribute something positive, because we need more of that. We need more cohesiveness and unity and tolerance and compassion for each other, and not just the homeless, but I mean, everybody's got a struggle of some kind, like death in the family, grief, heartbreak, struggling at work, struggling financially. I mean, health problems, disability. There's you name it. I mean, it's just having a compassion for each other. And I just saw another question about, have I ever walked into a religious church? Several times, yes. Notably, one of the weirdest incidences I had, there's this mega church in San Antonio, Texas that I went to, and I can't remember the name of it if it comes to me. And anyway, I went, and I got surrounded by like 3 bodyguards and a cop in my angel wings. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And they start rifling through my purse, and like they think I'm like a terrorist or something. And I'm like, what is going on here? We're in church. I'm an angel. Why am I getting fondled right now? Like, I felt violated. And they,
Oh my gosh.
they de-winged me. Like, these people are worse than the airport. You know, it's like it was bizarre.
Actually, that is really strange. That is quite strange. What kind of church was it?
I think it was Cornerstone, but before I'm going to look it up just to make sure I don't call out the wrong church. But it it was crazy.
Okay, that is totally nuts.
Yeah, and I couldn't get my wings back until after the service was over. Like, they literally took my stuff away in order to be there, and I didn't really like the service. It really felt like they were screwing with people's minds. And I've never in my life seen a church collect tithe twice. Like, as soon as you get in the congregation, they make you like raise your envelope in the air, like, give us your money right up front. And then they do it again in the middle. And I'm just like, wow, like, what on earth? It was the weird. I've never gone back, and I haven't wanted to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of, well, yeah. I'm thinking it wasn't for you, Mandy. But you know what I also know is that, I want to say, because I think this is true, because Deb's saying anybody that sees you gets a blessing. You get them positive love and hope. So just okay, so apparently your work was to have your energy brought into this place, period. And they could de-wing you, they could do whatever they wanted to, but that wasn't going to stop the energetic flow of what was being brought forward just by your presence of being there. So, I mean, you know, as humans, we experienced things a little bit differently. Energetically, you could see what was happening. You just infiltrated everything. Mm-hmm. Your light was too big. And sometimes when our light's really big, that's what conflict's about, you know, trying to de-wing each other. Mm-hmm. That's a really good one. I mean, really, when you think about it in such a human context.
Yeah. And it was Cornerstone Church. So that was weird.
No, Cornerstone Church. Really. I mean, shame on you for de-winging a street angel. That's. Yeah. But again, so apparently they needed a really good surge of energy from you, and I think that's really what's true. If Jesus walked in the street, would ask why.
Yeah, it's confusing to be treated that way, and it wasn't the first time. Like, the first time I tried to go to a church in LA, I had my gigantic wings on, and they actually rejected me at the door. Like, they said I couldn't come in, and it was actually Agape. Have you heard of Agape?
Yeah.
And but the reason they claimed they didn't let me in was it was their big chorus day. Anyway, I felt so sad and depressed. Like, that was my first attempt to go into like a church setting like Agape, like with my wing angel stuff on, and to get rejected. Mm-hmm. Like, I was heartbroken. I was like crying. But to make it sound better, I did get to go back in the future. I just had smaller wings on, and I was allowed in, and with my posters and stuff. And I actually got to meet Michael Beckwith twice, I think. And he supported. I have pictures with him with my big old posters and stuff. So he was very supportive.
I would imagine so. And what I'm guessing with Agape is that it was the distraction because the wings were so big. Or maybe they would have thought you were part of the ensemble.
I honestly, I wasn't sure because I had never been there before. It was literally my first attempt to go there, and you know, I got turned away. And I guess my wings were just too giant. Like, maybe it was too much. they were the reason I was given was like, oh well, it's going to be a crowded day, you know, we can't have you in here with those. But I mean, it was an experience. I got to go back and be in there and stuff.
I love that. You know what, you guys should definitely, I have her website floating across the screen. You need to go check out some stuff. So let's get into some fun stuff. I mean, that's some very interesting experiences, Mandy. Quite. And the fact is you just keep going, because sometimes in life we experience things and we feel like we're getting knocked down. We start losing did you ever in that moment, do you lose your motivation to want to get back out there and do it again? Because we do, you get knocked a couple times and then you got to pull up from there. I personally, I think of the moments in life where things have went the way that I wanted them to. So how did you pull yourself, how do you keep going when you do get hit like that?
I just do. In the very beginning of my project, it was a higher calling, in case anybody wanted to know. It's like God blasted me with this like download that came out of nowhere on my second day living in Los Angeles. Like, this is your divine mission. Go out on the streets with posters about kindness. And it was just like so intense. I was given this powerful drive and motivation and inspiration. And so I planned for about a month. I ordered wings and outfits, and I drew up these big old posters, and I started on a street corner in Los Angeles, brand new there, no job, no idea what the city was like. I had broken up with my boyfriend. I was completely alone, no family. I didn't know what the hell I'd gotten myself into, and I was shaking like a leaf because I was like, am I crazy? Why am I out here dressed like an angel on a street corner right now? But it was that powerful of a calling. And so, and you wouldn't understand unless you had one happen to you. And so it's like I did it. And those times where it was like in the beginning when I was new kid on the block and I was going to all these Hollywood parties and red carpets and this and that. And I would get thrown out of a couple or not let into a few in the beginning. But I was very driven and I was always going out to the point where the photographers at red carpets recognized me. They're like, oh, the street angel. So it's like once I became more recognized, it was like I was allowed in more often, more places. And then it was like I was an icon. And I actually got a little bit of fear in me over fame. I mean, a lot of people go to LA for fame. I didn't. I moved out to LA to just join a boyfriend that I ended up dumping. And so I got this thing that was leading me almost into the direction of fame. And I was like, this isn't really what I signed up for. Like, I'm getting freaked out right now. Mm-hmm. So I ended up kind of burning out. I was doing a lot of charity efforts and activism and giving. And finally I was just like, I'm tired. And I had to move away twice to just take breaks.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys really need to go to her website and check this out, okay? Because she's got a lot of really good reels on there where she's done her own talk shows and also where she's got all kinds of experiences with people that she's met. And we talked last time about some of the cool people that you've met, and this is her second time on with us. So definitely, you guys, go check out thestreetangel.com so that you can see some of this really cool footage and some of the things that Mandy's done. Now, coming into today's time, where you're at now. So you and I met because we were involved with Scott Katamas, Love Coach Academy, to be a love coach. And this is really what I'm excited about, because talking about what you have done is brilliant. And I love that. But talking about what you're doing now and how that you're showing up is really awesome, because you are stepping into the shoes of love coaching.
Yes.
Okay. But I mean, I know it makes sense, but why love coaching?
Well, honestly, it always seemed like people felt comfortable talking to me and opening up, and I always just seemed to be a natural advice giver with people, and also naturally I have a healing energy, and like I like to work with people in person and in other ways, whether it's on the phone or Zoom or whatever. But I just guidance. I'm a certified health coach and life coach and now love coach. And And I also really like to do like spirituality stuff, like spirituality gone wild, you know. So it's like I just coach. Everybody's a unique entity and they all have their own interesting life issues happening. So it's like you really just have to customize with every person what you're going to be talking about because it's just different. And clients are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, you know?
Yeah, I do. I do really, really well, you know. So, but what I loved about love coaching itself is where we really dug in deep for the last 3 months or so. It's been like 3 months, right? I'd say.
Yeah.
And we learned all of these great tools from Scott Thomas. It's compassionate communication. And it was based on his work with Marshall Rosenberg amongst a ton of other people. You know, he used to do his own talk. He used to have his own show and he used to produce stuff and all these things back in the day, Mandy. So, when, you know, and he won Emmys for this. It's amazing, right? Mm-hmm. Well, so he actually was lucky to meet so many people and he's met them all. It's pretty rad. So I'm like really grateful that we got to meet Scott and learn these tools. So how are you vibing? How are you vibing? Like, these tools have changed your own personal relationships? Yeah.
Yes. It's very helpful to learn these tools because you would think it's common knowledge, but it's not. It's really like getting able to put words on ways of communicating and specific tactics can not just help you when you're dating or in a love partnership or you have a spouse or girlfriend, fiance, whatever, you know, a love relationship, but it's also you learn more compassionate communication you can apply in general when you talk to other people. Like, I mean, and you could be put into situations out of the blue that challenge you, and to be able to have these tools. I guess it's kind of like when people go learn karate and black belt stuff. It's like you learn tools that you can apply in the moment when you need it. And so Love Coach Academy, it teaches a lot of really special ways of communicating and teaching how to tune in with empathy and listen to your intuition, how to respond better. So it's really cool.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you. It is really cool. It's changed about 3 years ago when I started learning these tools. It was pretty foreign. Actually, I thought it was pretty alien. I'm going like, oh my God, this is like way too complicated. You know, just to have, and then I realized, like, as I would watch more and listen more, that it all made sense because it's like learning a whole new set of tools and whatnot. But what's cool now is that you've just put all of these tools into this tool belt, and now you're working with people privately, and that's the cool part about why we're talking about what you're doing now to show up in the world. And Deb, it's safe to consider that she's been probably everywhere. So yeah, I would imagine just, you know, yes, most likely. So Mandy.
Yes.
You now take private clients and people can work with you privately.
Yes.
And that's what private client means, right?
Yes. Actually, on my website, I have a coaching page. Like you could choose different options of time slot availabilities, or not availabilities, but you choose basically how much time you want to buy, and then when you do that, then we start from there.
Okay, I love that. And let's talk a little bit about what you're doing now, because I know you just went out recently to a couple of different galas, right? Like you're doing this, she's still doing it, guys, just because she went back home from LA. So how is it, have you noticed, because right now I'm noticing kindness, compassion, empathy, all of these things are popping up everywhere. Gratitude is just popping up all over the world.
Yeah.
It's like crazy, right? Like I look everywhere. Did you see that? I don't remember. I don't watch a lot of too terribly much movies. So what was the guy that won the Oscars who brought forward this insane speech about unity?
Cool. I didn't get to see that, but
Oh
I
my
hope
God.
I hope it's spreading. I mean, that was the whole point. Like, I don't know the impact of what maybe my stuff has done, or if it's just something that's getting lit up in many other people, or what. I mean, because when I've been running around wearing this stuff for 7.5 years all over the country, not just LA. In the very beginning, I called myself the LA Street Angel, but then I just was traveling so much everywhere. I was like, I really should just change it to the Street Angel, just because that doesn't tie me to any specific city, which is great because I did end up moving out to Portland, Oregon area for a whole year and traveling all around there, Portland and Washington, and then I've been to other states, and now I'm in Texas right now. So
I'm loving it. I just love the fact that you're everywhere. Like, I mean, you just take your energy and you just float into these beautiful spaces. I love that. Anna Prada. Hey, Anna. Hello, sweetheart. Oh, thank you. Joaquin Phoenix is his name.
ah,
So, dude, like, he came out with a huge emphasis on unity and speaking our language. It was awesome.
good. Thank God.
Yeah, I was like, but that's what I am definitely seeing more of. I remember being in Florida a couple years ago, and there was, how they have the big signs at the shopping centers? It was like Ross and all of this, and gratitude.com is in the middle of this thing. I take a picture of it just because I'm like, dang. And I noticed, and in fact, this is a challenge for everybody today. Keep your eyes peeled for what awesomeness that you see out there. Mandy's one of them. Hold up your sign so people can see the sign again. Okay, there's your sign right here. Be kind. But if you look around, see what you can find that sparks the light in you, because it's everywhere. Like, speaking of churches, they'll have their message on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen lots of things about kindness and gratitude and compassion. So that's a big message today. Oh my gosh, she's got it. Okay, look at this.
I have a whole bunch. And I just have, depending on the event and the size and how much I think I can sneak in. People ask me, like, why don't you get them more professionally made? I'm like, I like to use my creativity and colors and stuff. Like,
I think they're adorable.
And there's a purpose there's a method to my madness. The colors and the pictures and the hearts, it's meant to get to people's inner child and just remind us that we're all in this together and to care about each other. And by the way, I do have one professionally made one. So, but it's kind of big and bulky and gets in the way. But
it doesn't have the same childlike energy of the other ones. I love the other ones. I think they're fabulous. I absolutely adore it. And you guys, she even has one that she folds down so she can sneak it in her purse. It's so cool.
I had to make that one for some of these high-level red carpets in Hollywood that I would crash because I didn't want to risk getting thrown out right in the beginning. But it's actually really fun to be incognito and sneak in later. And I actually did that just recently, a couple of weeks ago. I got invited to this military ball, and I'm talking like everybody's in uniforms and the women were wearing gowns, and it was like Cinderella, but for the military. So my friend got me in under a different name because her friend canceled. So I went in and acted normal, and it was a masquerade ball. That was even cooler. So I had a mask on, and I go in there normal, check in, I hang around for a bit. I wait till everybody seems a little drunk because it had everybody, drinks were flowing. And then I went out to my car and I got my wings and my poster, and I didn't go right back in there. And I just walked around this giant military ball with my wings and my mask, and I'm like, kindness. That was fun.
That was so cool. Oh my God.
This is one that folds, but I had other ones that folded.
I liked that one. It says "You Matter."
This one got kind of beat up, but it.
I love it. I love the fact that you've got foldable signs. I mean, quite frankly, I just think that's the coolest thing like ever.
Well, I'm going to show you this last one because it's one of my favorite messages for theme of what I do is just to have courage. Like, make your strength, more than your fears. Make your courage more than your fears.
That's awesome. I think that one has a great, so make your strength, your courage greater than your fear.
Yep. Be brave.
All right. Dig into that one for me. So let's expand on that.
Okay.
Expand on that, baby.
Well, in the beginning, I was terrified to act on this calling and shaking, but the more I did it, the more ballsy I got. And that's the wrong statement because I'm a woman, but I had to have a lot of courage to do it and keep it up, and especially go to some really high-end events and be around potential celebrities and stuff like that. In fact, trying to go talk to Keanu Reeves was probably the scariest thing I'd ever done because he is A-list actor, and he was just 10 feet away from me all by himself. And I was like, thank you, God, I can't pass this moment up. I have to do something. But I was freaking out.
Oh my God. Dude, I think, and I don't get starstruck too easily, but Keanu Reeves is pretty badass. Let's face it. And
he was cool. He was approachable and kind, and it just shook my hand and said, your mission's cool,
I love that. I think that's, and actually, he's a great actor. I actually got to watch the Oscars, which I don't normally do. So that's the only reason I knew about that. But there's a big flow going right now, Mandy. I'm telling you, this work is huge, important. And if you've got a calling out there and you've got fear is that false evidence appearing real. Fear is the belief system that that you're going to be in judgment, or you're going to be ridiculed, or you won't be accepted, or all of those things that come up that stop us from stepping forward with courage. And because you stepped forward with courage, how did that feel once you were on the other side of fear?
It feels empowering and especially if things go well, it's like, wow, it's almost like following my calling and being brave enough to do it was like a magic carpet ride. It opened doors before me that I had no idea were going to open for me, and that's why I made that one poster about courage, because it's just like, I've been terrified to do everything I've been doing, but I just did it anyway. And you can potentially get verbally attacked. You can potentially be bullied. And I've had people, just strangers, show up on my Instagram and call me names like you don't even want to know. And this one time, I left one of my posters on the table to use the bathroom in Hollywood at a restaurant. And the people next to me decided they were going to desecrate my poster. Like, they wrote dirty words all over my poster in pen, and I had to get rid of it. And you just never know where the demons are going to show up, when or where, and it's all about just kind of taking it with grace and just one foot in front of the other, keep moving forward. And it can hurt. It can be hard. Those moments where life throws stones at you. I really like to promote spirituality and connection to God, and whatever word you want to use for just connecting to the higher power, the greater creativity of the universe, because I think it's in that space where we're loved and accepted unconditionally. There was this moment in Portland, and I need to disclaimer it that I was not on any drugs or alcohol when this happened to me. Literally out of nowhere, it was like God took my little human brain and took me up into this higher plane where I was aware that, like, there was this huge plane of neutrality. Like, it was completely okay for all of us to exist just because we can. And it doesn't matter what traits we have or how it's manifested, what your sexuality, your gender is, or like, there was a space of neutrality. And I just had that. It only lasted about somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. I was just laying on my bed like, what's happening to me? I don't know why. Like, I was shown this, and maybe it was a way for me to try to accept myself more, because I feel weird. I mean, I'm running around like with wings in public places. I get weird looks, mostly positive response. But, you know, I think a lot of the haters, they kind of hang out in the shadows and they'll talk mean crap about me in the corner. But, you know, most of them don't have the courage to say it to your face, but they might show up on your social media and bully you, you know, because they just can. And I like to promote anti-bullying because words hurt. You know where words hurt is in here. It's like if somebody throws something mean into your brain and it like rolls around like a rock in the dryer. It's just like beats you up mentally, and it can last your whole life. And that's where childhood abuse can really cause damage, is you're called names, or you're called ugly, or you're not good enough, and it lasts through your whole adulthood life until you find that wound and try to heal it. I feel like I went off on a tangent. Sorry.
No, actually, I love that you were going off on the tangent, because I mean, let's when we have the words that come in that affect us, that trigger an old memory, and that reinforces that false belief system that we are not worthy or deserving of greatness, and all of the ways that our monkey mind talks crap to us. How do we detune that? That's where the point of neutrality comes in. I love that you brought up the point of neutrality, that everything is able to exist, to remove the right and wrong from all of it and just allow it to be. I get it completely when people are doing that and they're throwing the knives, but I also know that when I deflect that, because most of the time it's safe to consider that that's their internal wounding that is coming forward and being projected. Now, if I accept the projection, then the mirror reflection is something within me that I need to see. So it's really there for my good and for my benefit to have that mirror. You know, I created the contrast to see the mirror, to see the reflection. Because all judgments and all of those things, I always look at it, these are now our opportunities to see where's the growth from. I love that you are coming at everything from a spiritual aspect of oneness and unity, and from that space of eternal consciousness, God source energy, God, whatever that you all want to, that's right, whatever you want to label it, doesn't really matter. It just matters that you do. You know, that you're tapping into the internal wisdom of you, that you're tapping into the internal wisdom of the divine source creator, which is all within all of us. And that's what, you know, Amanda, you getting a calling to go out and be a street angel, me getting a calling to start this platform called Spirituality Gone Wild, and coming out. And not only do we get this calling, but it's also to come out and speak our truth and to talk about our lives and to be there and show up in a way that there's not any of it that's quote unquote would be easy, but it's fulfilling and beautiful, all wrapped up into one. What you say?
Oh, nothing. Yeah, I mean, like, totally, I agree, and that's like what I try to promote in a way. I remember one of my posters, the fold-up one, that it says, "Let's all work together for the greater good." And something I do want to say is I don't understand why there's the bad stuff. I don't know why there's the evil and the abuse, and like, why do people harm children? I don't know. And I think that's the most intelligent answer I could give, is maybe we don't understand the whole intellectualness of the universe. It's not our place. Our brain can't even wrap around what created and how all of this was created. It was just a gift to see that there was a space of neutrality, because anybody out there who's struggling to accept some part of their shadow self, there's a part of the universe of neutrality where it's okay to be what you are just because you can, just because you're okay to exist. I mean, why does a toad exist in the yard, or a blackbird, or a porcupine, you know? Like, I mean, does anyone stand around and judge them? I don't know.
Maybe the deer. I don't know. The deer. Maybe the deer. So, yeah, look at that. Look at those pine. Look at that porcupine.
I don't know.
Dude, the skunk. I don't know. The skunk. Look at him. He stinks.
Or snakes. Or, you know, why do lions go and chew on a baby lamb? I don't know.
I think they're hungry, but I mean, I mean, seriously, but yeah, there's a lot of big whys, is what I'm hearing you say. There's a lot of questions that I think we human beings here in this earth have. But what I heard you say again is that this place of neutrality is a place of all acceptance without, without the why being necessary, just to be as is without any thinking about why it might be.
Right. And, I don't have the capacity in my human brain to fully understand everything. And I don't really think anybody does. I mean, I'd be curious to talk to somebody in Mensa and just see what their grasp on the universe is. But I mean, who knows?
Okay, so I love that. And the reason I do is because I always say I have like my own perception of like what happens like when we transition or croak, but I haven't died yet. So like I really can't tell you if that's true. I don't know. And not only that, but if I'm like hyper focused on any of it, it's all distraction anyway, because I'm not probably wanting to deal with something going on in my reality. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Like if you get too far bent on one subject of, well, wait a minute, when do we die? I want to go, we can get too far off versus really being present. Because what you said about I love the neutral zone. Neutral zone that's your present zone. That's your now zone.
Yeah. Being in the moment and just, I promote praying. I mean, whatever, like I said, whatever form you want to call God, or, I mean, how can you even put a definition on that? But just praying, talking to the universe, putting your wishes, your desires, your needs, your issues out, and just talking to spirit about it. That's really helped me get through some stuff, because there are things that exist that we cannot see. I mean, you can't see the coronavirus you're about to breathe in, right? I mean, like there's things that that we can't see with our human eyes. And so praying, I feel like you're connecting to realms that maybe can help in some invisible way. And so, I mean, I can't explain it, but I believe that there are things like angels, like the angel realm, and other stuff.
I do too. Absolutely. And in fact, there's Karen Palmer, who is another host on Spirit. She's the co-founder of Spirituality Gone Wild. She is known as Miss Kindness, and she channels Jophiel. I have a friend of mine who owns an addiction center and channels Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel. We have David Strickle, who comes on here and channels what he calls the stream. So a lot of that, there's so, when you're tapped in and tuned on, like Abraham Hicks would say, right?
Yeah. I've heard people channel Mary Magdalene and
all of them. Yeah,
different things. And by the way, I live in San Antonio, Texas. Somebody asked what part of Texas. It's my hometown. But I've been in all different cities too. I visited Houston and Austin and some of the little surrounding cities as well. Yeah.
Okay. I dig that. We've got a couple of people on here from Texas, and Robin says, "Got me sober, I swear." Very cool, Robin. Once you heal when you heal the trauma, when you really get down and you heal that when you really go to that neutral zone and you start healing that and detuning the marbles that are going around in your head and getting them out of there, it changes everything. It is possible.
Yeah, if anybody's struggling with like depression or negative thoughts, like I really recommend putting positive quotes up in your face, like all over. When I was living out near Portland, Oregon, they have seasonal depression out there, and I was alone, and it was cold, and I felt so far away from my family and friends, and I'm like, what am I doing out here? And so in my kitchen, I put all sorts of positive quotes to just keep myself uplifted. And it's almost like a daily battle sometimes, fighting with your own brain, like the mental churn that's just always cranking, and sometimes can be so negative. And whatever that is cranking is affecting your body and your health. And you can just feel fatigued and sad and like crappy because your brain's affecting your emotions. It's all connected. So it's like the more you can put up positive quotes, or, you know, go to Big Lots. They have positive quote plaques and decor, and I have it all over my place. And it gives my space a higher energy. In fact, I've had clients who would come over and they're like, wow, your place has this energy. They would sense the higher vibe energy. So I recommend that.
Actually, I love that. And the reason I do is because, you know, you look at Dr. Emoto's work with water and with words.
Dr.
You know, Dr. Emoto, the Japanese doctor who did the study with words and water, showing because water holds memory.
Yeah.
And he actually did the studies where he would freeze the molecules of water, like he would put hate on one and kindness on another, or love on the other, and then when you put the molecules underneath the microscope, when it was hate, it would look like cancer cells, and when it was love, it looks like snowflakes. And so, but water actually, there's a great Gaia documentary on water and how it holds memory and how absolutely dynamic it is. But the words are the important part here. It's the actual words, the words you say to yourself, the words that are you're thinking, everything. So by putting all of this around you and you're able to actually see this, it's the imprint. How much of your body is water? So you just want to imprint that into your field, into your vision, into whatever it is, into your ears. And especially when you're down and you're battling. I see Leslie's having a battle right now. Well, there's many things. I usually say, who can I be of service to if I'm battling too hard? Because that means I'm in my own head. And I'm probably needing to get out of it a little bit. You know, because I start getting into that.
And you got to read uplifting material, get uplifting cards. There's all kinds of ones, like Gabrielle Bernstein. She has a super attractor deck and some other ones. Just look for some uplifting stuff. I like some of Joel Osteen's books because they're actually really uplifting. And I like to just grab a book and open it, and it's like God will just show me exactly what I need to see in that page in that moment for whatever I'm struggling with.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. And that's just kind of the method to my madness in a good way. And so life can be hard and confusing, and sometimes like we just have to hand it over to God because we're like, this is too much. It's too heavy. You know, you got to hand your suitcases over to the higher power and just be like, can you help me take this off my back right now and take a nap? I mean, you said something earlier about, you know, you got to find a way to like get away from it sometimes, or for me, it's naps. Like, sometimes you just need to take a nap, and then when you wake up, you'll feel better about whatever it was you were struggling with before the nap, because sometimes you just need to give yourself that rest. You're checking out, like check out from life for a little bit.
I agree with you. And that's being well-resourced is something that's vital and is important. And well-resourced is, have you had enough sleep? Have you eaten? Have you taken care of your own self-care needs? Self first is not selfish. And
fill your cup.
Yeah, got to fill your, because if you're giving away from what's inside your cup, then your cup depletes and it's empty. You're supposed to give away from what's overflowing, not from what's inside of it. Yeah. So yeah, I completely, I love that. And in fact, I'm looking for, I wanted to, actually, while I'm looking for what I'm looking for, let everybody know again how that they can work with you.
How can people work with me?
Let them know one more time.
Just go to my website and go, there should be different tabs. One would say a coaching tab. Another might say a body work tab, but obviously you'd have to be in my town for that. But coaching is, you can do from anywhere, from the comfort of your own home or your laptop or your phone, just whatever. But yeah, I could coach you in different methods and different things going on, but I should have a coaching tab on my website, and also have an angel services page, which has a little more detail. But yeah, if people sign up for a coaching session, just kind of put in the notes, what kind of topic or what type you're looking for. Is it love coaching, life coaching, a combination, relationship? Like, what is it? A specific thing or a starting point? Because you need a starting point, and yes, it's probably going to go off in some other directions based on the conversation, but it's good to know, like, okay, what are we starting with? What is one specific issue you're struggling with in the now that I can help get you to the next point? It's all about get you to that next step healing, open a door and go from there.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. And I love the fact that that Mandy is here, that she's showing up in the world the way that she is. Let's everybody just, what are you grateful for about Mandy that you were able to take in today? I'm glad that you like that, Robin. So if you guys could all just put in the chat what that you have learned from Mandy today, what piece of yumminess can you take away from this today? And the reason I want you to really focus on that is to bring it to the forefront of your mind, so that it can be something that you can hold on to and remember throughout your day and continue to practice it. So go to thestreetangel.com. Before that we get off, I am actually going to play a little video infomercial from Scott Katamas for Love Coach Academy, because he's getting ready to start, and we're all going to be there. I can't wait.
Relationship Essentials course.
Yay, if it plays.
I'm Love Coach Scott, and I want to ask you,
Uh-oh.
have important relationships that create way too much discomfort, even pain, fighting, arguing? Do you want to be understood more fully by the important people in your life? And do you want to experience really being well loved, well cared for? So if those are things that are going on in your life right now where you're really wanting more support, yes, I'm here to tell you how to do it. And yes, I'm going to tell you to do it with me. I've spent my life studying relationships, and I don't pretend to know everything. I'm still working on it. But I have absolutely come up with very powerful tools and practices that work, and they change lives, and they change relationships. And I got to say, I'm really proud. I've saved marriages. Just 2 days ago, I worked with two sisters that were completely disconnected. The first sister said, this is my goodbye call with you. I will do this session with you because I don't really ever want to see you again. That's how the session started. Within an hour, they were crying and committed to continuing to work with me and also making plans to get together. I'm sharing that story because it's kind of cool. It just happened. But I experienced that a lot, whether it's couples, families, parents and their children. I work with people on helping them to learn specific tools and practices that absolutely make our life easier, and we learn how to understand each other. And it's basically changing the neurological pathway of the brain, which actually is fairly easy to do, so that we're not in the reptile brain, but instead we're in our frontal lobe, where we can have empathy for ourselves, empathy for the other, and to see the big picture. We can stay centered even when somebody is throwing stuff at us that's really hard to deal with. I want to show you how to do it, and we're going to do it in a really fun way, which is my next online course. I'm collaborating with a wonderful woman, Debbie Garcia, who's like the goddess of gratitude. And she also has great tools and practices for how to authentically stay in our heart, how to stay grateful. And it's going to be with some of my favorite love coaches. And what we do is we have a small, intimate community of anywhere from 25 to 35 people. We meet on Saturday mornings and again on Wednesday evenings to learn these tools and to practice together. And we've set it up so there's a lot of different ways you can learn. There's, of course, the online course, which is really important that you participate in. If you miss a class, no problem. They're all recorded and you can watch the recording. But then if you want to go further, there's this amazing community of Love Coach Academy where we have practice groups, practice pods. You might even meet somebody as a friend or beyond to work with, because it's an amazing community of people who really want to enjoy life to the fullest. And you know what? Life is relationship. When our relationships are going well, we're pretty happy. And when our relationships are not going well, no matter what else is going on in our life, it's funky. So great relationships equals a great life. And I look forward to showing you how this might really be right for you. So please respond to me or to Debbie Garcia, and we'll even schedule, if you're genuinely interested, a free introductory consultation with you.
Yay. Okay. So,
And we trained with Scott, so if people want a female love coach, then we have us. And you know, something about gratitude is, I've loved the quote that gratitude turns what we have into enough.
I love that one too. And gratitude is a magnet for your heart. I call that loveitude. And actually, what I dig is that I've been learning these tools with Scott for almost 3 years, Mandy. But I also get to meet the community is what this is about. I got to meet you. You guys, this is Mandy and I met at Love Coach Academy. She is a love coach, and we all get to be love coaches together, as a matter of fact. So if you are interested in relationship essentials, then you're going to get to experience Mandy. But I also know for a fact you guys need to book with her privately. Okay? And you can take the course. Do both.
Thank you for everybody who took their time to watch this. I hope you got something juicy and positive out of it. And Deborah and Robin, Leslie, Julie, just kind of looking in the comment section.
I love you guys, and thank you for showing up today. For those of you on the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And thank you, Mandy, for letting me throw in an infomercial for our wonderful mentor, Scott Katanis.
Well, he's a great person, and he has a very soothing voice, and he definitely can help people. I mean, he's helped so many, and it's cool to see what one life can do, how many other lives can be touched. And it's a blessing that he's sharing his skills as a love coach with the world and created the Love Coach Academy, because the Love Coach Academy, you also have the opportunity to work on your own self, your own triggers, your own wounds, and identify it. And as you're learning and growing through the Love Coach Academy, it's like it's evolving your own soul and making you just a more beautiful communicator and lover and partner and friend to others. I'm
loving that. And I can't wait to experience like actual partnership with these tools. I have, it's changed all of my other relationships, but it'll be interesting to put that one into place too. I'm just totally stoked that you met Scott and we're in class, and that you're now a love coach, and we get to keep teaching and showing others how to be compassionately in relationship. So a connection, deep dive into those connections. But other than that, you guys all need to go to the Street Angel, and I'm going to put it back up because I'm sure you've got that website already. And back to come on now. There we go. TheStreetAngel.com. You guys go check Mandy out. Go look at her reels because they're freaking great. I seriously, you're going to see some super fun stuff. And Mandy, thank you for being here today. I just appreciate you so very much.
Likewise. Thank you for having me again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.